Walter?
Jenny, I look forward to these reports because you bring such enthusiasm to them. Heart of the Arts took over the management of the building in '07.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in your sixth year?
Yes. May of 2007 is when the city turned over operations to us. We were sort of gearing up, learning about the center and working out the details between the two parties from February
So
until
you just
May.
completed the sixth year. And in that time, looking at your financial report, it looks like that $735,000 worth of work have been in major projects have been done on the building, because I believe y'all carry those improvements on your financial statement.
We do, especially in terms of an asset. Like, we've been improving the asset, so if we have a conversation at any point, we need to be able to say how much.
The point is that 735 is a
Yes,
is a
because
good
you're adding
round
back
good
in
round
the-
number for what's
yeah.
been accomplished.
Yes, that is our round number for.
And then you mentioned during your presentation that, if I may, that you were moving toward repointing brick and replacing windows on the east end.
That's the next project coming up. Will be either, depending on where we're at with the fundraising, it'll either be the southern exposure that has a lot more windows and more brick to point and a lot more involved project. So if we're in a fundraising place to jump on that next, that's what we'll do. But if not, it'll be the east end of the building. So it's just based on square footage and how much money we have set aside. Because every time
But you've done west and north.
Yes, west and north are complete.
2 done, 2 to go.
Yes.
If you have enough money, you'll jump on the south. If not, you'll do the east.
Right, and it also will depend on the timing during the year, because the plaza is a very loved space, our beautiful Paul Plaza. And so as a really loved space for weddings and parties during the summertime, we have to be careful that we're not in the construction phase on that side of the facility during our prime wedding season. So we'll stage it accordingly, like work in pieces and work around the plaza space. As an active building, we're going to be up against that no matter what end we're renovating, because it'll affect parking on the east end when we go into construction. But the plan is to go out to bid in the winter for that project and start as soon as we are able.
Well, I'm glad to see, almost $750,000 worth of work. I would like to think that in the next 6 years, another $750,000 could get done.
Yeah, no.
The city funds the majority of the payroll and utilities for the building out of general fund, but one of the requirements of the Heart of the Arts is to work toward fundraising, to work toward capital improvements, and y'all have done a really good job. Just looking forward to it continuing.
Thank you. Well, that's why I say when I look at our number right now at this point in the year, I'm not in the right place, but I plan to be by the next time I come back to you.
Thank you.
Yes, Tim?
Thank you. Jenny, would you just take a couple of minutes and remind everybody about the window naming program? Do you still have
Sure.
windows
Absolutely.
to get named?
On the southern exposure, we have 53 windows that can be adopted, and you can put your name or a family name or in memory of. If you had somebody who went to school in the building, a family member that you'd like to remember long-term, and the plaque is this big, and we will engrave whatever name or memory you'd like to have on that. In fact, speaking of geocaching, as Dwight was earlier, there is one window that has been named with a geocaching point that we are going to install, and it'll be something that people can find in the building. It'll be out in a public space in the hallway so that it can be found. The plaque can be found, because that was what the person wanted to put on their plaque. I'm okay with that. So the plaques to adopt a window, it's $1,912, and that is on purpose. Most of the windows are costing well over $2,000 a piece right now, so you have to at least pay for the majority of the window to adopt it. And then I have a chart in my office that has all of the windows that have been adopted colored in. They're yellow if they're in progress, and they're green if they've been paid for in full. And the plaque is cut as soon as it's paid for in full, and as soon as the window is installed, those will get put in. It really is a wonderful program and a great way to remember people long term, because these will stay with the windows for the life of the building going forward. And the windows just keep getting better, because I guess our value on the ones that where they check how much sun is coming through and specifically what parts of the sun are coming through your window. The windows that were installed by the city in 2001 are not as good as the windows that we've put in since, in terms of what the meter was saying when he was reading the windows. And I thought, that's nice. We're doing a good job on staying on top of the most current windows. So I guess when Walter's talking about 2 sides are done, those sides will have different R values than the ones coming in after. But the windows are all custom built for the size and shapes of what we've got in the building, because the styles aren't the same as what we've got now. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
And Jenny, you mentioned before that you've had some classes for their reunions dedicate windows,
Yes.
right? So it can be a group of people.
It can be a group of people, and it's a great way to, we've had a number of reunion classes after the end of their reunion have put together the gift in full, and Tim's class did that when they had their reunion in the building, and they picked a window in the room that will become the historic classroom, and that was the room that they all were in when John F. Kennedy was shot, and they remember that. So that's a really cool thing, that it'll be a plaque in the room where they were when that event happened, a major life event. So it's really a neat thing to put those pieces together, and we would be very happy to have more people climb on and do the same thing.
Okay. It's Tom.
So also following up on that same line of questions, so if somebody picks a window and they say, I want the one on the south side, do they wait to get their window in there until after
So the
you're
way
doing the south side, or how does that work in
Okay,
terms of
so the
timing?
way the windows work is this. Heart of the Arts is the steward for this project, in that if you make a contribution and we haven't yet purchased the window, we're responsible for that contribution. If we haven't purchased the window and something happens that Heart of the Arts is no longer responsible for the center, just as an example, that money would be given back to you. So that money is sitting waiting to purchase the windows that we don't have, that are on the sides of the building that haven't had windows purchased. So if you adopt a window that we've already installed, that money will in essence go towards the next projects in the facility, because it's already a window that we've purchased with other funds that then you're helping us pay for. So it's neat if you want to contribute a window that already exists, because that's pushing it forward into the next projects. And meanwhile, anyone adopting windows at this point, we still have to buy those windows too. So that is also helping that project. So either way you look at it, it's beneficial. It's just that one, I'm sitting on the money and I have to keep it until the window is purchased. And so it would go back to the donor if the window wasn't able to be purchased. That's just in terms of bookkeeping and accounting. That's what you have to do. Keep them separate.
Okay. Would one of the council members like to formalize acceptance of the 1912 Heart of the Arts report?
I'd gladly accept this report. I make the motion to that effect.
All right, Dan's motion, Sue's second. Any discussion? Okay, Tim, we'll start with you.
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimously accepted, Jenny. Thank you again, and thanks to your colleagues from Heart of the Arts, Inc. It really matters that they came. That's right. That's good.
Thank you.
Good work.